Welcome, dear listeners. Tonight, we journey back to early 19th century England, to a small provincial town called Middlemarch, place rich with gossip, ambition, and quiet dreams. This is George Eliot's masterpiece, Middlemarch, a Study of Provincial Life, first published in 8 parts between 1871 and 1872. Through its interwoven stories, Eliot paints a vivid portrait of ordinary people searching for purpose, love, and progress in a changing world. It is not just a novel of one hero or heroine, but a grand tapestry of human life. With all its flaws and triumphs, our story begins with Dorothea Brooke, a young, intelligent woman living with her sister Celia at Tipton Grange. Dorothea dreams of doing something meaningful, love, improving the world, serving others, and finding a noble cause worthy of her spirit. But in 1829 England, women have few paths to such greatness. So when she meets Edward Casaubon, a much older clergyman and scholar who is working on a massive, mysterious book called The Key to All Mythologies, Dorothea sees in him a chance to serve a higher purpose. Though others, including her uncle and Celia, find Casaubon dull and lifeless, Dorothea believes she can help him in his intellectual quest. She marries him, full of hope and idealism, but once married, she discovers the truth. Casaubon is cold, insecure, and obsessed with his own importance. Her dream of partnership becomes a prison of loneliness. In Rome, during their honeymoon, she meets Will Ladislas, Casaubon's young, passionate cousin. Will is everything. Casaubon is not lively, artistic, full of modern ideas. Though Dorothea tries to hide her feelings, a spark of connection is born. Meanwhile, another newcomer arrives in Middlemarch, Dr. Tertius Lydgate, a young and ambitious doctor. He dreams of transforming medicine with science and compassion, breaking old traditions and improving public health. Idealistic and confident, Lydgate believes he can reform the provincial hospital and bring enlightenment to Middlemarch. Soon, he meets Rosamond Vincy, the beautiful, charming daughter of the town's mayor. Rosamond is refined and vain. She dreams not of reform or science, but of elegance, wealth, and social status. Despite their differences, Lydgate falls for her beauty, and she for his ambition. Their courtship ends in marriage, but, like Dorothea's, their union soon begins to unravel. Lydgate's income can't sustain Rosamond's expensive tastes. His debts grow, his ideals falter, and his reputation begins to suffer under Middlemarch's gossiping eyes. Amid these grand struggles, we also follow Fred Vincy, Rosamond's brother, a carefree young man, charming but irresponsible. He's in love with Mary Garth, a sensible, hard-working woman who refuses to marry him unless he becomes steady and honorable. Fred dreams of inheriting property from his uncle, Mr. Featherstone. But when the old man dies, the will leaves Fred with nothing. Ashamed and in debt, Fred is humbled. Under the quiet guidance of Caleb Garth, Mary's father, Fred begins to rebuild his life, learning responsibility, patience, and integrity. In time, Mary's respect for him grows, and their simple love becomes one of the few genuine and lasting romances in Middlemarch. In the heart of Middlemarch stands Nicholas Bulstrode, a wealthy banker and pious to the town. He seems a moral man, but beneath his religious image lies a dark past. Years earlier, he built his fortune through dishonest means, including profiting from stolen goods and deceiving a dying man about his rightful heir. When his past catches up to him through a blackmailer named Ruffles, his reputation collapses. Bulstrode's shame stains everyone connected to him, and Poor Dr. Lydgate, who had accepted money from him to pay his debts. The town turns against Lydgate, believing he is corrupt. His dreams of medical reform are destroyed. Eve and Rosamond, instead of supporting him, blames him for their ruined social standing. Lydgate's spirit breaks under the weight of failure and misunderstanding. Back in Lowick Manor, Dorothea's unhappiness deepens. Cusaubon's jealousy grows as he suspects her admiration for Will Ladislaw. His health declines, and before he dies, he leaves a cruel clause in his will. Dorothea will lose her inheritance if she ever marries Will Ladislaw. After his death, Dorothea is heartbroken but also strangely free at last, able to think and act for herself. Yet the rumor of Will's affection for her and her forbidden love for him spreads through Middlemarch like wildfire. Despite scandal and disapproval, Dorothea remains compassionate and brave. She befriends Lydgate and Rosamond, offering kindness when the rest of the town has turned cold. Her warmth and moral courage begin to heal what pride and ambition have destroyed. As time passes, the intertwined lives of Middlemarch's people reveal Eliot's central truth that every action, great or small, sends ripples through the lives of others. Like threads in a vast web of human connection, Fred and Mary find honest love through patience and growth. Bulstrode seeks forgiveness for his sins, retreating into quiet shame. Lydgate, disillusioned, leaves Middlemarch, his great medical hopes unfulfilled, and Dorothea, wise, strong, and compassionate, must choose between public respectability and the quiet truth of her heart. In the final chapters, Dorothea learns that happiness does not always come through grand deeds, but through understanding and love. When she discovers Rosamond speaking with Will, she mistakenly believes they are romantically involved and suffers in silence. But later, Rosamond, moved by Dorothea's kindness, tells her the truth. Will loves only her. Freed from doubt, Dorothea finally allows herself to follow her heart. Despite losing her fortune, she marries Will Ladislaw, choosing love and moral freedom over wealth and convention. Their union symbolizes the triumph of sincerity over society's judgmental, victory of the human spirit over fear. As years pass, the fates of our characters settle quietly. Fred becomes a respectable land agent, devoted to Mary and their children. Lydgate dies young, never achieving the fame he sought. Rosamond remarries a wealthy man, her vanity unshaken, and Dorothea, though she never fulfills her early dream of changing the world, brings warmth and goodness to all around her. Eliot ends with these haunting words: "The growing good of the world is partly dependent on unhistoric acts, and that things are not so ill with you and me as they might have been, is half owing to the number who lived faithfully a hidden life and rest in unvisited tombs." In the quiet, unseen kindnesses of ordinary people, Eliot finds the truest heroism of all. Middlemarch * is not just a story of one woman or one town. It is a study of the entire human experience. It explores ambition and disappointment, love and misunderstanding, faith and doubt. George Eliot reminds us that even in the smallest corners of life, in quiet towns and everyday hearts, lie the struggles that define humanity. Through Dorothea's yearning, Lydgate's ambition, Fred's redemption, and Mary's steadiness, we see ourselves flawed, striving, and deeply connected. Middlemarch endures because it tells the truth that progress begins not in grand revolutions, but in the small, faithful acts of good people. And so ends our journey through George Eliot's Middlemarch, a masterpiece of realism, compassion, and moral depth, a story that still echoes across time, reminding us that every life, however small, is part of something infinitely greater. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this journey into literary history, please like, subscribe, and join us for our next story.